Hey guys, for this video I'm going to be reacting to Hoop Dreams. It's a 1001 movies to watch every time movie. And really, I'm assuming it involves basketball, but that's pretty much all I know of it. It's almost 3 hours long, so I'm in for a long haul, so let's just get started.
Of a West comeback are slipping away. McGuire for three. I have never seen an all-star game.
Already, it seems very much so low budget that I don't feel like it has any like cast and crew, you know. It feels literally like home video. Someone had a hand camera and is just going around filming it. Kind of tell by the shaky cam and just the, the way it's filmed.
And now I want to, play in the NBA like anybody else would want to be.
So I'm assuming this is probably going to be more like a documentary or a mockumentary. Not mockumentary. I don't know what it's called. I know this was made in the 90s. I think maybe 1994 or 96, something like that.
I'm off to Central and the Congress Expressway, a park over there where some pretty talented young men.
On weekends, he's an unofficial talent scout for several area high schools.
I'm not sure, just like from higher ups, going to these lower like income areas ultimately more beneficial because they're more willing to do whatever it takes to, become a star. So at least, from like the NBA standpoint with the owners and all that shit, because they're already like, they're just unknowns as opposed to stars, and they don't have much control.
Your role today, Arthur, is to impress the coaches, try not to be too fancy, to take the open shot when you have it.
I'm wondering if the way they recruit basketball players is the same as they recruit NFL players. Most of the time, the NFL players started out as like pee-wee and then high school and all that shit. Then you might go to college and eventually come to the NBA or NFL. I know baseball you have to go to the minors first and then work your way up. I'm wondering if the NBA is different, if they just take you like fresh, obviously like college basketball and high school basketball, but I wonder if they're more likely to take like even younger than that unknowns.
But I guarantee that I would help you get into the school that would be best for you.
So that's essentially what it is. They kind of have hopefuls and then provide them with the education and everything to give them a chance to become stars. I'm wondering if they're going to use like Isaiah, Isaiah, what is his name? If they're going to take any like input from him to determine whether or not he has promise.
If they want to play basketball and stuff, that was always okay. But I was going to make sure all of them got through high school. A high school diploma was very important to me.
So many of the families very focused on helping them, become basketball stars. Which, for most people, probably seem very frivolous. It's, just a game. Then you realize how much basketball players make and how life-changing becoming a basketball player and having so much money be beneficial to people and some people and their families. Could be life-changing. Is he filming this over like 4 years?
4 or 5 or 10.
William begins his freshman season on St. Joe's varsity, the top-ranked squad in the state.
I'm kind of wondering if he's going to make it because Arthur, I don't think I know of a famous basketball player named Arthur. Then, of course, you know, I know Michael Jordan. I know, like, when I did watch basketball, there was, like, Curry, Odin, you know, those kind of basketball players. I never heard of an Arthur, so I'm wondering if he makes it. Of course, like I said, I'm just completely... I don't watch basketball regularly. It's more of a sporadic thing, so... He could be famous, and I just don't know it, so... It does add some mystery to the movie, though.
At the time, the kingdom of heaven will be like this. This is how Matthew's going to use Jesus. This is how he's going to start it out.
A religious school. Fun. If I had to actually go to church and to school and had religion taught, I would... taught in a way that's, you know, not like a religious class that covers like all religions, but if it was literally taught as fact, you know, as opposed to like history, I would go insane.
Sister Marilyn told me, you have to be one good ball player to get into school with these grades.
That's got to be kind of demoralizing. Kind of also more evidence of how environment can also affect. You know, if you have a good education, more resources, you can do so much better.
I don't think nobody in their right mind is crazy about school.
So is this following two different guys? I know Arthur. I thought the other guy was Arthur. Was that Elijah or Isaiah? Whatever his name is. Or was that William? I know there's a William somewhere. William Gates.
For Arthur, the season is over. His freshman team finished second in the conference. Williams varsity is rolling.
Okay, so there's William and then there's Arthur. I wasn't going crazy.
Arthur's family is paying for half of his tuition, and the increase comes at an especially bad time.
I'm wondering if we're going to see if he has the same resources as William does and if he's able to perform at the same rate.
You have to draw the line because, as I said, tuition is something that as a school we depend on.
So it's kind of like a college, going to a private school. It's pretty much like college. You have to pay tuition, you have to pay books, housing, all that horse shit. Is this a public school that Arthur is going
is
to?
accepted at the public high school
Yeah.
near his home.
Drastically
He's been out of
different
school for 2
environment.
months.
If he was going out there and he was playing like they had predicted him to play, he wouldn't be at Marshall. Economics wouldn't have had anything to do with him not being in St. Joe. Somebody would have made some kind of arrangement, and the kid would have still been there.
That's what I
He's
figured.
not making it.
They're not useful. He's not useful for them, so they cut him.
You could almost forget about his being there. That's how quiet he really was. And I think the transition had something to do with it.
So, is he just doing bad in class, or did he just not participate in class? I think there's a big difference. Because I was extremely shy in class. But, you know, at least earlier, in like until I got to like freshman or junior and senior, my grades started slipping, but that was other issues, of course. Previously, I did pretty good. I just was extremely shy.
In June, after 20 years of marriage, Arthur's dad leaves the family.
It's not going to be even more devastating at all, is it?
Make sure you look at how many shots been taken. George might shoot 15 out of 40.
Something else I noticed, William has a brother, Curtis, that really helped him and pushed him and gave him the confidence. You know, Arthur has his mother, but I think it's that additional, maybe like a sibling, you know, a brother that if Arthur had had the same, maybe he would have, I guess, played better and stayed in school or been able to stay at St. Joseph as well.
I guess in so many words, I feel like I'm a pro at that in my mind.
Maybe Curtis loves basketball and wishes he could be a basketball player, but he wasn't at the same level as his brother, so he kind of fostered his brother to, to do better because he knew his brother had more talent, I guess.
Way outside, off the front of the rim. Kleinsmith tips it around. 3 seconds left. Cunningham goes down. It's up. No go. Gordon Tech wins.
At least he tried. Almost, appreciate the hustle more even if he didn't, win.
Arthur's season ended well.
It's interesting because Arthur's mother talked about how kids need something to do so that they become gangbangers and all that. Kind of made me realize that basketball is an outlet, if you will. It's an outlet to keep you occupied, to burn off energy. It's just a way to keep yourself occupied, I guess. So that you're not doing bad things, I guess.
Hey man, I'll see you later on, okay?
I mean, if anything, at least you can say that the father still has contact with his
Increasingly, this
child.
playground court has become a place to buy and sell drugs.
Oh, well. So I'm guessing his father's in drugs.
Mother's Day, 1989.
She still keeps it.
I said, hey.
I love how he's playing with his brother.
The whole school see me as being an Isaiah Thomas. I'm trying to build my own identity. When I leave, they can be like, oh, you gonna be the next William Gates.
Interesting how Arthur kind of idolizes Isaiah, and whereas Williams doesn't want to be seen as Isaiah. Kind of wonder if that's also something, Williams trying to surpass him, whereas Arthur was trying to be like him. I remember those in PE, and I fucking hated them. Brings back bad memories.
The next day in practice, William re-injures his knee.
It's not totally unexpected. I hope they just kind of bench him, because if you keep just re-injuring your knee, it's going to get to the point that it doesn't matter what you do, it's not going to fucking work anymore. Just take time, set out, and if you eventually have to work your way back up, it's better than just completely destroying your knee. But then, of course, he's probably going to be pressured by the school to perform. Is that how they literally do it?
The daily regimen of rehabilitation is not the only change in William's life.
Say hey.
Aww.
Say hey.
Such a cutie.
I look up on the scoreboard. My name is not even on there anymore. Where do I fit in with this team?
I mean, it can also get, even if he takes time off to recuperate from an injury, the coach is probably thinking, well, if he has this injury, then what's to stop him from getting injured again? Why would I put him back in? So I think it's a lot of mentality on the coach's part as well. You can recuperate from the injury, but it doesn't mean that won't ultimately affect your playings in the long run.
With his whole family watching, William seems out of sync and bothered by his knee.
I'm hoping, in the off time, when he's not playing games, he's just, icing the knee and just protecting it at all costs, because I think ultimately overstraining the
While
knee
the doctor examines
could
William's
be
knee, Gordon Tech surges ahead.
more dangerous. Well, it shows that he's kind of the most important piece of the team, because when he's not there, then the other team is able to take advantage of it.
With 6 seconds to go, Williams steps to the line with 2 free throws and a chance to win.
Come on, just tie it. Tie one, then it gives you the chance to continue on.
He was hurt. He shouldn't have got out there.
Well, at least his, relatives were like, hey, he was obviously injured. Why'd they put him out there? But then on the other hand, I'm sure he was wanting to go out there, and honestly, it's kind of really a no-win situation overall.
He has a good chance of performing fine.
He says that, but it's probably going to change based on the guy's decisions.
I asked the Lord to forgive me for what I did, the time that I mistreated my wife, beat her physically,
So he literally admits that he was abusive physically to her. Probably missed it earlier, but that's very telling. That can be very impactful on all the children.
William's dad invites him down to his auto repair shop. He hasn't lived with the family since William was a baby.
So the father, William's father, is separate from the family. She is essentially a single mother. I'm not sure if he provides for them as well. He just doesn't live with them. But he obviously has contact.
Be able to play some basketball. And I think now he sees something at the end for himself.
So William does admit that he thinks his father only is interested because he sees potential in him.
Even if Arthur passes summer school, he may not graduate with his class next year because St. Joseph's is refusing to release his transcripts.
So I was wondering that if they owe money, what they're going to do. Apparently they're just going to not give the transcripts. Just make their life difficult.
You have to realize that nobody cares about you. You're black. You're a young male.
Spike Lee. It's ironic because I kept thinking of All You Can, or what was it? His movie, Do the Right Thing. Especially when it comes to Arthur. He kept reminding me of Arthur.
Recruiting is like any other sales business. We've got to win to keep our jobs. We've got to fill the arena to keep our jobs. And if we don't, they fire us. I mean, that's hey, bankers don't make money, they fire them.
Yeah, it's exactly what I expected. They just see these people as pretty much potential. What will make them money, essentially. And once it doesn't seem like you're making more money, they'll cut you. Well, guys, I'm probably going to separate this into 2 parts since it's literally 3 hours. I'm going to say goodbye for this video. And I'll see you in the next video. And I'll link this video to the next video whenever I put the next video up. The shebang. So yeah. I'll see you in the next video.